So I've noticed a trend, and that trend is my YouTube thumbnails, they kind of suck. And if you guys remember from my last video, we talked about the literal hundreds of hours of watch time and the hundreds of subscribers and thousands of views that I'm simply not getting because people are choosing to not click on my thumbnail. And you know, I know there's probably some of you out there, right? We're all new creators. We're all trying to figure it out. You may be in the same situation as me. And the good news is we don't need overly polished or overly edited thumbnails to win the click. But what we do need are really good video topic ideas and titles that our thumbnails can play off of. So in today's video, I'm going to show you some examples of creators who are doing really good things with minimalist thumbnail design. And then I'll introduce you to a more seasoned and tenured creator who has a masterclass of a video that talks about the psychology of thumbnail creation and getting people to click. And then I'll show you in Canva some of my existing thumbnails, and maybe we'll talk about what went wrong with them and why they didn't perform so well so that you can learn from my mistakes. And let's jump in. Okay, so the first creator I want to introduce you to is Donald Lee, and he's a relatively new channel. He's got 9 videos. I think he's already had several attempts at YouTube prior, but he's doing quite well. He's got over 1,000 subscribers. Some of his videos have over 10,000 views. This one down here has 40,000. But I would ask you, as you look at his thumbnails, what do you notice about his thumbnails? Well, for me, what stands out is that they're all likely just screenshots from his video. He's not spending a lot of time other than maybe doing some color grading and adjustments there to make the colors look different, but it's really just still images taken from the video. And then he's adding a little bit of white text on each one. On top of that, his video titles aren't very long, but they're descriptive. So I think he's doing a really good job of taking a minimal approach to his thumbnail design that is captivating his audience to click. And his thumbnails are playing off of his titles in some cases, and we'll come back to that here in a minute. Now, the next creator is Super Simple Marketing, and this guy is a ton of fun. If you haven't checked out his videos, I recommend it. It's got really good energy. But what do you notice about his most recent videos here? A lot of these, in my view, have similar styling in terms of, again, still images most likely taken from the video. He does make it a point to change his backdrop so that they're pretty different. And then he's using consistent colors in his fonts, his white and red. And then the red is also playing off of his sunglasses that he's wearing in a lot of his recent videos. So this is like adding an element of personal branding that's making him more recognizable over time. Again, some of his wording in his thumbnails are asking questions, which is good. And again, that's all playing off of the titles. This one here, Newell of Knowledge, I consider this like hyper minimal because as you look at his thumbnails, what do you see? They're pretty much all the same. It's him wearing the same outfit, him standing in front of the same whiteboard. Of course, there's different text on the whiteboard, but you can't really read it. And his titles are mostly pretty short, but what I will say about him is he doesn't necessarily need to have a killer or pop out thumbnail because his video topics really appeal to a lot of people. He talks a lot about kind of a philosophical approach to inner character, well-being, communication, storytelling, confidence, and it resonates with a lot of people and he's getting a lot of followers as a result. So here's an example of what I consider to be very low effort thumbnail design insofar as the video topics and titles take care of the click. Okay, and the last one I'll talk about is Rob the Maritimer, who I think I've talked about in previous videos. You guys all probably know him. He has a very similar theme in all of his thumbnails. It's basically just him sitting on his couch with his cat, and he's got very simple white text. It's usually very short. He's doing some before and afters with his 0 subs to 20,000 subs. When you die, I mean, that's all very existential, so that's capturing attention. And he's doing a lot of really good stuff around encouraging the older YouTube community to start their channel and to just get going. And I think it's resonating with a lot of people, building his brand. He's very recognizable at this point. He's just doing really simple things with his thumbnails and people appreciate his authenticity for it. All right, now the final creator that we'll talk about, and we're not going to review her thumbnails, but I want to call out April Lynn Alter. She's almost 60,000 subscribers at this point, and she put out this 30-minute masterclass of a video that I absolutely love. It's how to make a killer thumbnail for the 2024 algorithm. The editing is amazing, and she does such a good deep dive on the psychology of why people click on thumbnails. You can actually sign up for her mailing list, and you will get access to this guy right here. This is a PDF that kind of breaks down the 4 primary elements, this idea of a curiosity gap, scroll stoppers to get people to stop scrolling and to pick your thumbnail in the sea of thumbnails, and then the 3 C's of thumbnail design. Coming back to this idea of a curiosity gap, if we actually look at some of the YouTubers that we just talked about, they use some of these elements in their thumbnails. So if we go back to Newell of Knowledge, he has one video, 2 easy ways to improve your social skills, which appeals to a lot of people. I think everybody probably wants to improve their social skills. But when you look at his thumbnail, he's got those 2 reasons, but you don't have the full answer. So number 1 is stop something. Number 2 is be less something. And in order to resolve that curiosity, you got to click on the thumbnail. You got to watch the video. So he's doing a really good job of luring the viewer that way. And then for Donald Lee, how I'm managing the fear of potentially losing my job. And he has the words, I'm scared. So first of all, kudos to him for being vulnerable and being a man on the internet expressing a worry or a fear. I know that's very rare. But secondarily, people might be thinking about like, wow, how is he actually coping? I might be in that situation myself. Like, what's he doing to get through it? I want to hear his story about how he's scared and how he's getting through it. That's another kind of curiosity-inducing thumbnail there. For Rob the Maritimer down here, this new editing style is taking over YouTube. And then in his thumbnail, he has edit like this. And it's like, edit like what, Rob? Like, how should we edit? And of course, you got to click on the thumbnail to watch. So very good usage of curiosity there. And then finally, super simple marketing. He has, I hated editing until I started doing this. He has hate editing in this thumbnail question mark. Watch this. It's like, okay, I think most people hate editing. I might be the actual exception there. If you want to know how to deal with editing, you got to watch his video because he's going to give you some tips and advice on that. So as you think about your thumbnail design, what can you be doing to add a layer of intrigue or curiosity that your viewer simply cannot move past? And that's what April Lynn was talking about in her video that you should definitely watch. The link for that will be in the description below. I think that's probably the most important element in thumbnail design, giving the viewer a reason to stop scrolling and to click on your video because they have this burning desire to figure out what the answer is to what you're showing in your thumbnail. The second thing that April Lynn calls out in her video is this idea of a scroll stopper, thinking of ways to get people to stop moving past your thumbnail, including faces and specifically emotional faces, including things that signal danger or a threat or a movement. Money tends to stop people in their tracks. Big, large numbers also stops people in their tracks. And otherwise aesthetically pleasing things also appeal to people. So when you think about your thumbnail, like what are you including that falls into those categories to make your thumbnail stand out more? Now beyond that, there's some additional items like contrast, colors, the main character versus the secondary characters. I'm not going to get into that here, but you can watch her video and she'll be able to give you a really good breakdown of that. Okay, the final thing I want to hit on really quick before we jump into my thumbnails is this website called ClickPilot. I just discovered this off of April Lynn's recommendation. This is a website where you can look at other people in your niche or even other videos of the same topic that you're going to be creating a video for, and you can create your own design and then put it in so you can see how your video might stack up compared to other people's. So here's an example. The video that I'm recording right now is going to be titled Beginner's Guide to Minimalist Thumbnail Creation. And I've generated this thumbnail down here on the bottom left. And I wanted to see how would this thumbnail look in relation to other videos on the topic of thumbnails. And so my question to you as the viewer, and be honest and tell me, yes or no, does my thumbnail stand out in this sea of other thumbnails? I mean, there's a lot of really good looking thumbnails in here. I'm not saying that mine is the prettiest by far, but mine I think does look different. This one from vidIQ looks very different. There's no face on it, and it has the word boring in big bold text. So this one actually captures my attention a lot. But this one down here, I mean, maybe I'm just biased because I made it, but this one I think also stands out because again, there's no face, there's no flashy graphics. It's just a simple chart, 1% click through up to 6% click through. I don't know if people are going to actually pick that up, but anyway, that was my attempt. So I think this is a really good website to check out specifically to compare and contrast your thumbnails against your would-be competitors. What's also great about it is you can change the size. So here's what it looks like on the home screen. Here's the size that it would show up in search. Here's how it would show up on the sidebar. And as this gets smaller and smaller, what you really want to make sure is that your font is nice and big. And then here's how it would look on mobile. So there's a lot of cool options on here. I think it's $10 a month to get the pro version. You can probably do some of this with the free version as well. But I think for as important as thumbnails are, this might be among the top 1 or 2 financial investments to make, maybe next to vidIQ potentially, for paid subscriptions to help you with your YouTube channel. Okay, finally, let's jump into Canva, and I'm going to show you just some examples examples of thumbnails that have worked well for me and some that haven't, and maybe we'll ask why they didn't work well. Here is my very first thumbnail for my very first video. This one still to this day has a 6.5 click-through rate, which is the highest I have on my channel. It's not getting very many impressions or views anymore, but it stayed at 6.5%. Maybe it was a fluke, but if you think about the title of this video, what it's like to start a YouTube channel, and then you have the text, "It sucks," that I think plays off of the title pretty well. A lot of people have that question. What is it like to start a YouTube channel? And there's this one creator right here who's basically saying it sucks. Very simple design, kind of a happy accident, if you will. Some of the other ones that did well was this one here, "Just Start." Again, the text is simple. Aesthetically, I'm not really sure how this is, having a 6% click-through. Maybe it's the fact that I'm showing other creators that people are curious about that are getting people to click on this thumbnail. Now, all of my monetization update thumbnails, I think I've done those wrong. I've added way too much text. It's too cluttered, too much going on. And I think if I were to compare these to other folks and their monetization videos, mine would just look like a bunch of noise. As I'm thinking about creating these in the future, I'm definitely going to make them less cluttered and make them more simple in nature. So for example, I might completely just take this out, get rid of all of this completely, and maybe just make this part a little bit bigger, more centered, something like this. And in my view, that's a little bit of a cleaner design all in. It could probably be improved quite a bit, but that's just an initial gut reaction. Another one that went decent is this one here, "Confidence to Continue." And the title was my first 30 days on YouTube. And that was me talking about my experience, some of the things that I've learned. And this, I think, plays off of that title a little bit because it's telling the viewer that in the first 30 days, I've gained some confidence and I plan on continuing on my journey. And then this one here is on my most recent video where I talked about the real cost of having a bad thumbnail and potentially not getting the subscribers and views that you otherwise be getting with a good thumbnail. So I tried to get a bit of a cleaner design in here and draw some attention to the fact that here's your opportunity cost. Here's what you might be missing out on. And then here finally is the one that I just referred to on that website that is, again, a very clean and simple design. So we will see how well this thumbnail does going forward. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys to see some of the evolution of my thumbnails. These are definitely not perfect. As you know, with everything YouTube, it's all an experiment. It's trial and error. It's seeing what works. It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. All in, it's just kind of a fun journey. And I hope you guys who haven't started yet find the courage to do so. Let me know in the comments if you have started, if you are looking at your thumbnail designs, if you're having a low or high click-through. I would love to hear from you on that specifically. Hopefully this is helpful, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.